Welcome, everybody, to How to Create Self-Grading Speaking Assignments Your Students Will Love. So, if you are a world language teacher and you are tired of spending countless of hours grading speaking assignments for your students, maybe you're using something like Flip and you're doing a prompt and you're like, then you have to listen to all the videos and all the audio and grade it all yourself. And you're spending your hours, your nights, and your weekends doing all of that because you want your students to practice speaking in a target language. Well, I'm here to tell you that today you're going to find out how to stop spending all that time grading and create self-grading assignments. So I'm going to tell you how to do that. Let me know if we are live. Okay, hold on. It says I'm not live. All right, so we had a technical issue. Let me know if you can hear me. That's really, really important. So yes, if you can hear me, let me know where you're watching from and what language you teach. Let's see if I'm live. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Let's see. I know Facebook was having some issues. StreamYard told me. Oh, it looks like I'm live. Yay! All right. So, and I see some comments. So, yay! You can hear me and you're here. Okay. So, go ahead, share this with your teacher friends. They are not going to want to miss this. All right. Because if you know, as language teachers, we want to get our students talking in the target language. But we also want to build that proficiency, but we don't want to spend our nights and weekends doing this, right? So definitely share this with your teacher friends because they are going to want to be here for this, okay? Trust me, I have been using this platform with my students and they really, really loved it. So take it from me, it has been a time saver and a game changer. All right, before we get started, couple things. If you're not a member of our free Facebook group, it's called Tech for World Language Teachers. After the live, not now, don't go anywhere. After the live, make sure you go and request to join. And if you're a Spanish teacher, make sure you go and request to join our other group, which is called Tech for Spanish Teachers, okay? All right, let's get started. We're going to bring Austin on, and he's going to tell us all about Speakable.io and how it can save us so much time. I'm telling you, I used it with my students and it was like that. It was that fast how quickly I was able to create assignments and assess my students. So let me bring Austin up so he can tell us all about it. Hi, Austin. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Good. Thanks so much for being here and telling us. And you're going to walk us through this really awesome platform that you guys have built. So tell us about, how this all came about and then show us a couple things.
Yeah, so the origin story is kind of interesting. So originally, Speakable was developed to help with building speaking confidence. There have been these advances in text to speech and speech to text. And my friend Andrew, who was teaching English as a second language, was like, why can't we just make something really simple where I put in a word or a phrase or a sentence, students repeat it, it transcribes it, and checks it. With the idea that that's a really low pressure setting for students to start building up their speaking confidence into practice. One of the things that we noticed as we started working with more world language teachers was just this issue of like the ratio. So you're one teacher, if you have 50, 100, 150 students. I've worked with teachers that have over 200. This ratio just doesn't work very well for speaking. So if you're doing if you once a week, 5 minutes of speaking time with each student, it's 5 minutes of benefit for one student. It's 500 minutes of work for you if you have 100 students. And so what that leads to is it creates a situation where it's just physically impossible for teachers to really give as much speaking practice as they want. So that is really our biggest goal, is to help alleviate that issue of the amount of work that just goes into the back end of grading those assignments, while also coupling that with kind of the initial thing, which is how can we help students build that speaking confidence by providing them feedback.
That is such a great point that you make. Because if you have a small amount of students, then okay, it's a little easier. But realistically, those of us, especially if you teach at a public school, I mean, I had class sizes of over 50 students per class. That's how I started this community, because I was like, oh my gosh, how am I supposed to differentiate and grade? And I found out that I could use technology to help me engage my students and save time. And then I started teaching other people about that. So, yes, that is such a great point that you make about that. Yes, it is such a time saver. It saved me so much time, because I'm now teaching online also. So, one of the things that it's really hard to assess my students, because sometimes their audio isn't working. And so when they via Zoom, when they get off, there's like feedback and all this stuff. So this has been such a lifesaver for me because I can still assess them. So yes, tell us some more, please.
Well, should we jump into the software and take a look at it? Or
Please show us all the good stuff, because you just updated it. So you're going to show us all the brand new stuff.
yes. And if you create an account today, you're going to see a little bit different interface than what I'm going to show you. But what you'll see here today, everyone will have access to on Monday. So don't freak out if it's just a little
And please share this with anybody. Be a good teacher friend. Who do you know that it's struggling? I mean, just grading a ton of assignments. So let them know that we're live, and let them know to come and join to learn more about this. Okay, so here we go.
Okay. Is my screen coming through?
Mhm.
Perfect. All right. So we're in the app here. When you sign up, and anybody can create a free account, it'll take you through an onboarding process. It'll just ask you what languages you teach, and a few other questions, and then you'll be in and you'll be on this screen here. So what you'll notice is that you have a couple of objects here. You have your classrooms, activities that you're creating. We have spaces. This is a new thing that's coming out on Monday, and we can end with a little bit about that. But essentially, you have the ability to create the activities the way that you want so that they can align with your lessons. And to do that, you just hit create an activity here. And I'm just going to pull into one that I've already been working on. So now we're in the builder, and this button will allow you to add the different card types in here. So an activity is just a collection of different card types, and the students will go through each one as they're progressing through their assignment. And there's 4 main student actions that you can include in these activities. There's a repeat card. There's what we call the respond card, or a free response card, which can have 2 forms. You can have the students respond by speaking, or you can have them write something and respond. And there's multiple choice, for the times when you just need some multiple choice.
And can you explain what's a card for everybody who may not know? Because it's kind of like a flashcard, right?
Essentially, it's like a flashcard, and this is
Better.
like a student. So there is a front and a back, and on the front is where they'll see so in this repeat card, they're going to be asked to repeat this phrase, and you can enter anything in here that you'd like. But their experience as a student, they're going to hear it, then they're going to say it, and then they're going to hear it again. And so there's text to speech in here, and there'll be a little voice. And you can choose the voice that you want in your activity settings. You can also record your own voice here if you would like to. So when the students come into these cards, they'll hear it, then they'll say it. Hola, ¿cómo estás? And if it's correct, they'll get the cute little star, and they can see the translation if you added that and move on. Now, if they're not quite on, estoy bien, ¿y tú? It'll translate what it's hearing, and then students can just try again. Hola, ¿cómo estás? And so it's very simple. It's super flexible to put things in here. This is really great for, I kind of think about it as that first barrier when you're starting to learn a new language, where you're just getting used to the sound and the script and you're building up your confidence. And as kids, when we learn our native language, um, you hear a new word and you might say it back to your parents and you get it wrong and your parents correct you and then you keep doing it until you get it correct, which is great for like a 2 or a 3 year old, and it's pretty adorable normally. But when you get up into like middle school and high school, uh, just making those mistakes starts to get a little bit scary. So this is an activity that can be done really anywhere that students want to. They can do it at home. You can have them spread out in the library and do them so they have a little bit of privacy. But it's a nice way to just build speaking confidence in a low pressure environment.
Very good. And everybody's like, what? I want to try this with my students. Name the app, please. It's speakable.io. I put the link in the comments for you guys already. So, and then make sure you stick around because we are going to do a Q&A. And of course, if you have questions as he's going through, please put them in the comments. All right.
Cool. And I can show you the respond card now. So those activities where you're giving the students a prompt and you're having them respond to it in recording form, this helps with those, and it's pretty flexible. You can do a number of things with it, but I've just put in a very simple prompt here. Describe your family in Spanish, and I'll give you a preview of how this works for students. Soy Austin. Mis padres viven en Nebraska. Tengo 4 hermanos. Tener 3 sobrinos. Y no tengo un perro, pero yo quiero uno. So I'm learning Spanish, so I'm kind of a good use case for this. So I'm going to submit this and I'm going to get some feedback immediately. So what this is going to do is it's going to take that student's response, it's going to transcribe it, it's going to send it off to one of these large language models that's known as AI, the things that power the things like ChatGPT, and it's going to ask for feedback for the student. And at the same time, it's going to estimate their ACTFL level, and it's going to consolidate all this information in your gradebook for you.
Wow. I mean, did you guys hear that? Isn't that amazing? That is awesome. I'm so excited. And so this is great because I know I can't tell you how many times I've used something like Flipgrid and I have put, because I didn't even try this part yet. I haven't done this part yet with my kids. But I love the idea that I can have a prompt and they can answer and it will do all of this for me. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying, yes, it is.
And it's really good at identifying like grammar issues and things like that. So from the vantage point of thinking about like how do we help students build confidence, one of the things that can really like make you unsure of yourself is when you're like, oh, I don't know, like, am I using the right gender? What words should be plural in this? Those little things that you're just like unsure, so then you don't speak. This will give you feedback as a student immediately, and then you can try again and correct those mistakes. And it will give you a suggested response here that you can listen to.
This is so awesome. So can I ask a few questions that they're asking?
Yes. Yeah.
So the name of the tool is called speakable.io. I put the link already in the comments for you guys. I'll put it again. So of course I knew this one was coming. Which languages does this system support?
So technically there's 180 languages in here that are supported. In practice, there's a fraction of those that have really been like tested thoroughly. Essentially everything that's taught as a world language in the United States is supported here, and then English is of course supported for your English learners. And And if you're teaching English as a second language, there's some dynamic features that can help translate things to students' native languages. So like if you have Spanish speakers, French speakers that are all learning English, on the repeat cards, it can translate to whatever the student's language is. So, but most of the languages that are taught commonly as world languages are all supported and have been tried and tested here.
So cool. Okay, the next question. So limits on sentences for free response.
Is there a limit on them?
Yeah, I think that's what they're asking. Is there a limit?
This is based on like a recording time. So you can set the amount of time that the students have to speak, and this can go up to 3 minutes here.
All right, I just put the link in the chat. So it is a website. It is a website.
Mm-hmm. It's a web application.
It's a web application, yes. So another question, can you add a picture prompt for students to talk about? Oh, I like where this is going.
That's a really good question. You can add in an image here, and we have the integrations with like Google Images.
You guys ask the best questions.
So you can add those in there. One challenge that we are working on right now, the AI does not have context for the image. So sometimes the feedback is not as good. If you put an image in here and you say, describe the image, it won't understand that currently. But we'll have a solution to that coming out pretty soon.
Super quick. Will this work with Canvas LMS?
We don't currently have a Canvas integration. So there's 2 integrations right now for bringing your sections in. There's Google Classroom and Clever. So if you're using those 2 LMSs, or Google Classroom as an LMS or Clever for the SSO and security, you just do sign in with Google Classroom or Clever, and then you can sync it up here and then import your sections. The other option is to use a join link. The Canvas integration and then PowerSchool are in the works currently, and I don't want to promise a timeline, but the goal is to have them ready for next school year.
Yeah. So for this person who asked, do they need their own accounts? So he just said you can use the join link. That's what I did. And yeah, and so we are using PowerSchool, so I'm glad to hear that that's coming. So yes. Is it possible to have feedback and in Portuguese? I believe so. It's 180 languages, right?
In Portuguese, yeah. Yes, it is.
Yes. Please add Canvas.
I know, we're working on it.
They're working on it for us. Yeah. It's so silly because I'm teaching in a new district now, and they trained us on Canvas, and then turns out we're in school with these. So it's like after all of that. So yeah, so I totally get it. All right. So what else do you want to show us before we take more questions?
Let's see. There's a couple other things in the builder. So this is what it would look like if you had a written response. So you can just have the prompt in there, and then students will write their answer, and then it will work just like the spoken response. And one other thing you can do here, so as you're kind of like working through different levels of students, the repeat card is going to be great when you're just getting started and they want to step things up a little bit. You can use these respond cards in really simple ways too. So I've added an audio prompt here. It's just a recording.
So they're not just practicing. I love that they're not just practicing, talking. They're also listening, and all that. So I really like that.
Yeah, I love to see these activities when they're created where you can kind of simulate a conversation. So you hear something, and then the students or the teachers have just instructed the students to respond to this. So if you say like, Estoy bien, ¿y tú? It can quickly give you feedback on how that went, and then you could go through like this the flow of what that conversation might look like.
I mean, this is so awesome because you don't. Oh, somehow I'm echoing. So it's so awesome because you don't have to. I can't tell you, you know, how many times I have had to sit there for so many hours grading listening activities and then giving them feedback and okay, make sure you do this or make sure this was such a game changer for me because I didn't have to do any of that. I was like, here's the speaking activity and there you go. And I just assigned it. So it was so great. But now I'm so excited because now I know I can do prompts and all. So the sky's the limit.
Yeah, the goal is to really make it flexible. And I think a lot of the magic happens like you have kind of standardized curriculum and things that you have to follow along. But
Oh, hold on. They're saying they can't hear us. Can you guys hear us?
uh-oh.
So I don't know what happened.
Let's see.
All right, let me know if you guys can hear us because somebody said what just happened. So Marquita says yes, thank you. So I don't know what happened. That was really odd. That happened to me today. Oh, it was so funny. Sometimes it happens. Okay, so we're gonna go back to screen sharing. Everybody's saying that they can hear us.
Okay. Perfect. What would any kind of video conference be without a little bit of a tech hiccup?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I was on Zoom. I think it was yesterday, and everything that could go wrong went wrong. It kept kicking me out. Then they couldn't hear. I couldn't hear them. They couldn't hear me. Then I think we were on Nearpod. The Nearpod wasn't working. I was like, and what we just pushed through and had a great time anyway. It happens, All right. So we're gonna try sharing again and continuing.
Okay. Is my screen coming through now?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And everybody, let us know if you can hear Austin.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
They're saying. Okay. So you guys, Austin is going to speak. So let us know. I know you can hear me. Let me know. Yes, they can hear you. Excellent.
Okay. They can't hear me?
No, they can.
Okay. Perfect. Otherwise, this could have ended up like those old Verizon commercials. I do want to show the analytics. So we call this the assignment analytics here, and these are accessed through your what's called sections currently, but classrooms. And this is going to give you a bird's eye view of what happened on that assignment. So as students submit their assignments, you'll see them here under submissions. And of course, you can click into these and see how students did on these. So this is just a repeat card assignment. And what we're seeing is some analytics that give us an idea of how difficult these words were for this student to say. So they were required to say it twice. It took them 2 tries. So they got it right, each time almost immediately outside of a few. So this assignment was like pretty easy for this student. And what's nice about this is if you had to listen to all these recordings, it'd take a ton of time. But here we can just scroll through and we can identify maybe some areas where a word or a phrase that students were struggling with. And then we can just focus on those areas that are most difficult or challenging, that are really growth areas. So that's
and then you can if you see like a pattern, because that was the other thing I liked. I was easily able to look who had already turned in their assignment. I was able to see how well they did. And so you can quickly scan and see what issues and address them in class. And so it saves you time analyzing data and knowing what you may need to go back to reteach. So this is really great.
Yeah. And for that, the content tab gives you a roll up of everyone in the class's results. So there was just one person in this, so there isn't a ton of data. But this will aggregate how the students performed on each card. And you'll be able to see, certain ones were more difficult, and you can address those with the whole class too. And with those respond cards, let's see, I think this assignment has respond cards. You're going to have a lot more in-depth information on those. So if we click on one of these cards, you'll have the audio recording, which you can listen to. You'll see the transcription that was created. Here you'll have the estimated actful level and then its reasoning behind it. We call these estimated levels because they're not perfect. And it depends on how much context it has. So if students are speaking for a couple minutes, you're going to get a better estimation than if it's just a sentence. It's not very good data, but it can be helpful in understanding students' progress. And then you'll see the feedback that was given to students here below.
That is so amazing. I am loving this.
And this also has the ability to see kind of a class roll up as well. So this is what we call the card analytics, where we can see a distribution of actual levels, some analytics for all students, and then you can come in and look at each student's responses to a specific card.
So cool. All right, let's see. Wow. They're saying I am blown away. I know, and they're saying, wow, Afro level for students. I know, didn't I tell you? That's why you need to follow me. That's why you got to be on the email list. By the way, I'm putting it in the chat box before. I forgot to say that earlier. So here you guys, there's the link to join my email list. You'll get, put it on the email list, and you'll also get the free AI course, the first part of the AI course. So yeah, which I did cover this and that also. So yes. All right, so please show us some more stuff.
Okay. How you access those assignment analytics is from your classroom, or as it's currently called, section. So you just click on the section that you want, and then you'll see your assignments here, and then you can go into each one there. Usually teachers will start out kind of slow when they start using Speakable, and you might make an assignment with 10 to 20 repeat cards and just try it out, or maybe just a couple of prompts to get going, which is a great way to get started. And then as you get a little more advanced, you can start making these activities more immersive by adding some of the media in here. So you could add in a video, and this is linked into YouTube.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
So I can add a video here. And then this is really, really nice to use with these multiple choice cards. So you can check for understanding. You can have the students watch a video and then have them go into a multiple choice card where they answer a question about that. And there's a few different types of media in here. You could put a podcast in, so Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you can embed those in here. There's text to speech. So if you just want students to listen to a passage for, out loud, you can enter in text here, and then they'll have a little reader so they'll hear it. And I like this for news articles. Sometimes I'll put in like a paragraph for each paragraph of a news article in these, and then I'll just challenge myself to a respond card where it's like, what was in this article? And it's a nice way to just kind of get yourself to start reading through things and trying to understand it, and you can hear it at the same time. And as you get into it more, you can take some inspiration from other teachers. So there is a community library here, and you can filter this by the language that you're teaching. And it's really great for things that are aligned with like a textbook. You don't want to reinvent the wheel there. So let's just grab someone else's activity here for something. You can copy and edit these. So if you want to make some changes to that, you can do that, of course. And then on Monday, you'll be able to filter these by cards. So if you want to try something that has these written response cards, or if you want to find something that has a video in it, you can do that as well. And there's some really fantastic teachers here that are making exciting activities and things I kind of never dreamed of, but that are kind of centered around content. So this activity, we can preview this, has students watch a video. They go through some multiple choice here, repeat some of the phrases there, and then they'll respond in writing to this prompt, and then they'll submit a spoken response to this. So it's really cool, pretty immersive when you can watch a video and then just have these student actions here where they're really engaging with that content.
Wow, that is amazing. All right, I'm seeing comments like, flying by. Let me see. It's like, can I keep up with the comments? All right, so let's see. I teach AP Chinese. Will you be able to add a timer, like 20 seconds for conversation practice? If we want low pressure, we turn the timer option off. If we want to practice timer conversation. So what do you think about that?
That's feedback that we've gotten, and it's in our roadmap to add timers. I think a couple of use cases. We really started off focused on practice or more like formative type activities that could be done frequently. But I think we've seen a big desire to have things that can be test simulations or test prep where you would need a timer or even like an assessment that's kind of like a quiz where you don't want students to be able to go out and like look something up on Google Translate. You want to have a time limit to it. So that's in the works, that's in the roadmap. And we're going to add some pretty cool stuff here within the next 3 months to the builder so that there's more flexibility and more control over the feedback that students are getting, as well as the how it's being scored. So the system is currently kind of a pass-fail, even for those respond cards. In the future, we're going to allow rubrics so that these can actually be scored and then reviewed. And in addition to that, we'll be adding timers in so that we can do those tests.
Okay, so somebody, I'm not sure what's going on, you guys. Because when I asked earlier, if you guys were hearing Austin, you guys said yes. So I'm seeing some comments saying that you guys are not hearing him.
Oh, no.
Please give me some feedback because I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if it's some people.
Hopefully it wasn't for the last 5 minutes.
So somebody said Facebook user. I think what's happening and some of the Facebook users, I think what's happening, you're in the Facebook group. We're live on the Facebook page, on the Tech for World Language Teachers Facebook page. So if you're on the page, then I think those are the people that can hear us. I also shared it out in the group, and I shared it out in the YouTube channel. So I know Facebook, before I went live, said I got a message saying that there were some technical issues, and I think it's with the Facebook groups. I also know that live streaming is going to be discontinued inside the groups from now on. The only way to live stream will be if I share the link. So just keep that in mind for the future. So let me know, new comments. So Elizabeth says, sounds perfect, sounds great. So yeah, the people that are on the Facebook page are hearing perfectly. I think the people that are not able to hear are the people who are maybe in the Facebook group. So if you're in the Facebook group, please come to the Facebook page. I put the link in there. I put the link in the comments. Okay. All right, so we're going to continue. And don't worry, I'm going to send this recording out to everybody. If you're in the groups, if you're on the email list, everybody's going to get this out, okay? So that's the great thing. Okay, so Speakable.io is the name of the, I'm trying to see where I left off. I was in a comment. So it says, we are hearing him, but the audio is clicking on and off. Okay, so it sounds like the audio is coming off and on for some reason, not sure. And some people are saying, hearing him just fine. Lisa's like, I never heard of sound. I don't know, that's so great. We'll have to do this again. We may have to do like a webinar instead. What do you think? Do like a Zoom or something like that, okay? Because this is just too good. So we'll have to, try again or something. Okay, so I hear you both. So Austin says, what are you clicking? Somebody said, what are you clicking on? I don't know. It might be me. So hold on. So I will like mute myself when I'm clicking. How about that? Might be me when I'm clicking for the things. Okay. So good. They say they're hearing us both. All right. So Austin, please continue, and I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. There's just a couple other things to show here. One of them is a new release that's going to be out on Monday, which is Spaces. So you'll have your library of activities. As you create these, you'll be able to organize these in folders and then assign them year over year, and you can save things from the Discover page as well that you found that you liked. And then Spaces is going to be a collaboration feature. So you can create a little space on here, and it functions as kind of a shared folder with the ability to comment and collaborate on things.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can I interrupt for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying that, so a couple people are saying we can hear Austin perfectly. When he clicks the audio on his computer, that is what we're not hearing. And then another person said, no, it's not you. It's the audio that he is clicking on when he's sharing. So I think that's what they're saying.
Oh, it must not be picking up the audio from my browser tab.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't know if we can fix that.
Okay. But at least you guys you're seeing the features, and you're seeing how awesome this is, and you're seeing how this can save you so much time. So they're saying, yes, thank you. Woohoo!
Cool. And the last thing on Spaces, and just one more thing I can share on how to just get started really quickly on Speakable. But this is what a space will look like. These will be available on Monday. You can invite your colleagues in here that either you work with within your school. So it could be like the Spanish department, or if you have folks that you went to school with and you're always sharing ideas with each other. So you can create your own little community here. And then it'll have a space where you can house activities and share those with each other.
So Spaces, it's going to be like little communities where we can collaborate and share resources for the teachers. Will the students be part of the communities, or just the teachers?
Just teachers right now.
Okay, cool. I like that. It's a great way, kind of like a Facebook group, a great way to come together, share ideas, ask questions, and share resources. But it sounds like it would be a little more organized rather than like a Facebook group where you can have activities and share activities, right?
Yeah, it's really based more on just the ease of getting and using activities. So a lot of times there'll be within a department, you might have one person that really loves creating things. So if they set up a space, they can add those things in there and others can use it. And if some other folks do create some things, they can put them all in there and just have one nice area where These are all our activities for our Spanish 1 students, that kind of thing.
Love that. Love, love, love. Yes. Okay. So they are asking more questions. Make sure you ask your questions in the comments. We will try to get those answers. So they want your contact info. You're gonna get a bunch of emails.
Nice. I love that. My email is austin@speakableapp.com. And I will share, I'll share a page here with you all. It's speakable.io tech-4-WLT. And this has a link to my colleague Santiago's calendar. So if you want to schedule an onboarding call with him and learn more, you can just automatically book something to his calendar. We're always happy to help support everyone as they're getting started. And in the app, you'll notice there's a little chat here.
I should have done that. I'm like, why didn't I schedule a call? Okay, well, if you want to share that in our private chat, I'll share I'm going to sign up and get an onboarding call. Oh, look at this. Andrew shared Austin's email. Oh, it takes a village. Thank you guys for helping. And they're saying, look at that nice support. Yes, definitely. That is very nice, so that you're going to get that onboarding. By the way, this link that you shared with me, if they sign up, so what they want to know the price. I'm sharing the link in the comments. So they want to know, okay, so what do they get for free? Because I know they got stuff for free because I was kind of using it for free at first. So what do they get for free, and what is the cost if they upgrade, and what do they get if they upgrade?
Mm-hmm. And Andrew Platt, who's sharing my email, is our Chief Technology Officer. So he's.
Oh, thank you, Andrew.
I'll get some good. So the free account lets you use those repeat cards. So there's no limit on like classrooms. You can create as many classrooms as you want. You can create as many activities as you want. But the free account will give you the ability to add in repeat cards, and as well as some of that media. And then students will get the instant feedback on that. If you want access to the grade book, in that scenario, it's $12 per month. And there's another package that's $56 per month that will give you access to all the card types, all the analytics. There's a cap on the respond card recording time of 30 seconds. And then we work with a lot of schools and school districts with partnerships with the organizations themselves. Mm-hmm. We're aware that the pricing model is going to get adjusted over the summer. So we're aware that it can be kind of cost prohibitive for teachers that are paying out of pocket. So we're going to make some updates to that over the summer.
That is awesome. And I'm glad to hear that, because, a lot of us do pay. Some things, I work now for a district that's pays for some things, and I'm like, hey, thank God. And then some things I'm still kind of covering myself. So that is so great to hear. All right, they have a suggestion. I think it might be nice to have a feature that teachers can follow a creative teacher. Okay. Oh, I like that. Yes. So that, that is so cool. Save time and get. Okay, can we get Apple analytics access without all the rest? That is a big price tag. We are on a huge budget cut.
It's part of the growth plan or the school plans currently. And a lot of schools are going through budget cuts, but our job, like my job and Santiago as well, is to help everyone get started and to use Speakable. It's also our role to help kind of make the case for your school if you want your school to purchase Speakable. So we can really work with the school to kind of make the case. And I'll share my screen again. There's
And it's an easy case to make because of all those amazing features.
Okay. We have a little calculator on the website that illustrates that initial point of like how much time it takes to grade these speaking activities. So you can come in here and you can enter in like how many language learners you have, number of units you use, speaking assignments per unit, the amount of time that it takes you to do that, and just calculate the number of hours that you're spending on grading. And a lot of times this number is quite a bit lower because it's just 800 hours. Like if you were actually doing this for per unit, 810 hours is what, like 20 working weeks or something, which is wild and obviously not possible. But even if you're just doing one, it's a ton of work to grade all of these. And this can be really helpful when sharing with administrators and folks how much of the burden this can take off of teachers here. And then of course this is coupled with the instant feedback that's
right, because that is something like, instead of spending your nights and weekends grading while your family is, you're missing out on all this stuff. I can't tell you how many events I've missed and whatever because I'm like, oh, I gotta work, So this, it's like, oh, report cards are due. This week it's been report cards. We're going on spring break next week. So yes, I mean, we know how hard it is trying to get all that stuff graded, put everything, all the grades in and all that. So this is honestly, I mean, such a time saver. And the thing that is great is that you can totally make the case for your district to, pay for it. And you can have them, connect, Austin and is it Andrew? With the, they can, make the case for you so that you can just enjoy the process of saving time. All right, let's see. Where are we? Okay, so they're asking, they want to know the prices again and exactly what you guys get, what they get. Can you explain those two tiers? There's a free tier, and then there's like two pricing. Can you explain those again?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got it open. Okay.
So the basic account is the free account there, and then with the starter plan, you get all of these things. There's a little AI card creator for the repeat cards, so you can put in like a topic like classroom objects, and it'll just create the cards, add images, and those kinds of things. And then you'll get.
Can you show them that? That's what I did this past week, and I just went, and it created it for me, images and everything. I was like, and then I assigned it to my students, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even show you guys that part.
Yeah, we're working on an upgrade because it only uses the repeat cards currently, so it's a little bit limited in what it can do. If anyone is a ChatGPT Plus subscriber, we do have something called Speakable GPT, where it can create activities with any card type, and it's pretty cool and kind of a look into where we're going. But it works just like this currently.
Yeah, and you can select the level of difficulty.
And the difficulty levels, so easy is 1 to 3 words, medium is 4 to 6, and hard is 4+ words. And then it will create these, and you can choose which ones you want to include and which ones you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then just hit view and builder, and you'll have them right there ready to go.
Yeah, it's that easy. Let's say you're teaching about the house unit, la casa. It puts it for you. And that's it. I mean, it was so easy. I was like, wow, I love this. And now that I've seen all the other features, I'm like, wow, I'm going to set up my Where's the link so that we can set up those calls?
So it's this URL. Let me see if I can come back into the.
Yeah, in the private chat.
Maybe. Okay. That's it there.
So Lisa's saying the time saver. Oh, it doesn't. You don't think so? But they can sell it to their ML English learners. Yes, you can make a strong case for sure. All right, question. Can I put in a text and have them practice that text paragraph long with the free version?
So those repeat cards, if you want to have that transcription where it's checking it as well, I don't recommend doing more than one sentence at a time. After that, it just gets a little too difficult because if there's one minor mistake, then they have to do the whole thing over again. You can break it up into like a repeat card with one sentence and then another one with the next sentence and so on. And you can do that with the free version, but I would not recommend doing more than one sentence in there. That's a good question.
All right, so I put the link in the chat. Yeah, did it? Is that the right link? Yeah. Tag 4, okay. All right, so there you can set up an appointment to walk you through and onboard you. I guess I better hurry up and set up mine before all the appointments fill up. And here is the link if you want to sign up for your free account, right? It's free, right? They can try it. Okay. Then there's the link for you to sign up. So I believe that is an affiliate link. So if you do decide to upgrade, I don't know. I think we might, my community might get something which helps to support, keep us here on air for you guys. So, all right. So any questions? We are almost an hour in. Any questions that you want to ask away? Any questions, suggestions, stuff you want to see them add? Because they're actively updating this. Okay, so is there, oh yes, is there a age limit for students to join?
There isn't an age limit, but it seems to be most effective for like middle school and high school. We have some younger kids using it, but as you can see from the interface, like kindergartners, first graders, it's not fantastic for them. So I won't lie. It's definitely better for the middle school and the high schoolers. And of course, younger kids, they're a little more malleable and seem to be able to work on those pronunciation things somewhat easier. So there's no limit, but anything lower than like, first or second grade.
What is the question, Giselle? I'm not sure. So JB wants to know, can you just review which features you get for a $12 level? They want to know what that $12 level they get.
Mm-hmm. So
you can screen share again if you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, very important question. Student privacy is an issue with my district. Are they, compliant, tech compliant?
Yeah, we're compliant with the major regulations, and we take student data privacy very seriously. To have the analytics and things compiled, we need to have the student's name and usually an email, but we don't collect any more information than that really. And a lot of times there's data privacy agreements that districts want us to sign, and we're usually happy to work with districts to sign those things and make sure that everything is in place and we're complying.
All right, Kim is asking, do you get the actual estimate with the $12 level?
No. So in the starter plan, there's the the repeat cards, and then the gradebook for those repeat cards is what you'll get there. And then the growth plan will have those actual estimates.
Okay. And then hold on, there was another question. I want to make sure I get to all the questions. So JB says, I read the website, but didn't understand the terminology under that level.
I'm sorry, under what?
Under which level? Under which level, JB? Can you remind us what the repeat cards are? So I think you get the repeat cards on all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're seeing here.
But you get the grade book with the $12 one, right? And then you get, I guess, everything with the $56 one, right? The grade book, the Apple things, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where the difference is. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, okay, video cards. Hold on, there's a question before that one. So we are an iPad school. Are there any known issues with using your website on iPads? Thank you.
We don't have an application for iPhones or iPads currently. That's something else that's on the roadmap, but it will work through the browser. You just have to use the Safari browser because Apple and Google don't get along that well. So if you're using Chrome on an iPad, it won't work. And usually there's a little bit of there can be some frustration from students that are accessing it on an iPad, but there is in our help center, there is an article here that walks through each of the steps to make sure that it is going to work on the iPad. And I can share this link as well. Let's see. Okay.
All right, so this is all right, so I'm sharing the troubleshooting link in the comments. For those of you that are iPad users. All right, so
And if issues come up, that little chat bubble in the bottom right corner, it's available to everyone. So we're happy to work through things. And there can be things that go on within a district, like you might have a website blocker or something like that. We just need to work with the IT department to make sure that we get approved. So there's situations like that, and if you just chat us in there, we'll work with the appropriate people to see if we can sort it out when those things come up, or if there's issues with the iPads. So.
Okay, so Kim is asking, so with the free version, students get immediate feedback, but no grades are recorded without the grade book. Is that an accurate statement?
The grades are there. If you upgrade, you'll have access to everything historically.
Okay, so it does grade it. They just can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there's workarounds if money's tight, you can have the students just do a screen capture of their end results and send it to you. There's a lot of people that use the free version and get a lot of value from it.
Will it work with both Chrome web browser and Edge web browser?
Chrome, it works best with Chrome outside of on an iPad or an iPhone. Edge, I'm not sure. We don't have a ton of Edge users, but if Andrew's still here, he might know. I think it does work with Edge, but don't quote me on that.
All right, guys, we are an hour in. We want to honor your time, and make sure that you get you out of here so that you can go spend time with your family and all that good stuff. Let's see. Oh, so Angela asked, can we get a trial period till the end of the school year so that we can decide? Till the end of the school year, is it, I don't know, when started? I'm not sure.
We do have a free pilot program. It's typically 30 days, but sometimes we can work with people to do what makes sense if there's like breaks and stuff in there. And there's a link, let's see here, that I can also share that gives an overview of our pilot program here. So it just goes through what you have access to, the folks involved, timeline, etc. And on that webpage, where you can book a time with Santiago, if you're interested in a free pilot, you can ask Santiago, and he'll be able to work with you on that.
So that's so that would be a free 30-day trial, and they get all the features.
Yep. Okay. It's designed to help with that decision-making process of like, do we want to use it, and so on.
All right, what did you just send me on the chat? Oh, this is a video for the how to access the free 30-day trial. So there it is in the chat. I am putting it
on the program.
So yeah, make sure you check that out, because it is definitely worth checking out, and then you can decide this is worth it for you, and then the next step is getting your school or your district to pay for it, and they can help with that too. So yeah, they're currently working on those things as well. All right. We get it. We're teachers. We're trying to make things work, but they're also a small company. They've got to pay the bills and keep the program going. So, it is what it is. We're just trying to hopefully set up a win-win for everybody. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for showing up, and I hope you guys really love that and see how you can save so much time grading and creating. I love the video. I didn't even know we could do video. Like, I've got to set up a thing. I gotta put this link somewhere so that I don't lose it, because I gotta set up my onboarding so that I can know exactly what to do and play around. And as you guys know, the more I play with stuff, the more comfortable I get, then I come back and share it with you guys. So so I'm going to play around with it some more. So far, I'm loving it. My students are loving it. And I can't wait to play around with it some more. And then, of course, I'll share it with you guys. And I think you and your students will love it also. And hopefully we can get the schools and the districts to pay for it for everybody. So, all right. Thank you for coming on. And I will see you next time. I'll let you know. Keep an eye on your inbox if you're a member of the email community. If you're not, I'm going to put the link in the comments so that you can join the email community. You'll also get the free AI course. There's a series of 3 workshops. You'll get the first one free. And if you decide you want the rest of the course, then you can purchase the course, or you can join the academy that's available for you as well. And don't forget to come and join our free Facebook group, the Tech for World Language Teachers Facebook group, and Tech for Spanish Teachers. Have a great evening. Bye.